Hey, welcome back to the next edition of the Michigan Conference Camp Meeting Update. I'm Craig Harris. I'm the superintendent for the camp meeting, and you are?
I'm Stephanie Howard, and I do camp meeting registration and housing.
Very good. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today is the camp meeting registration. How does it work? And a lot of places like Camp Asaba, when they want to get into for the summer camp, they're at 8 o'clock in the morning and they're ready to push the button to get in and race to get in. That's not the way it is with our camp meeting. And I really like the way that we do it. Explain it, because it is confusing to a lot of people.
It is confusing to a lot of people. We have what we call a random selection. And that means that we have more people who want to come to camp meeting than we have places to put them. So what happens is, if I have, say, 170 some people who register for a cabin like they did last year, but I only have 44 cabins, I have to figure out which of those 170 some people get the cabins.
Right.
So what I do is I ask my computer to randomly choose
The 44
people who are going to get those sites.
From that list. So there's that group of people, there's let's say, whatever you said, there's 177 of them, and the computer randomly chooses 44 of those for you, right?
Yep.
And so knowing you and saying, hey, Stephanie, I'm trying to get a cabin this year, it doesn't really
It doesn't work. Right? I don't take bribes.
Right. Right. And so the computer randomly selects that.
We want to be as fair as possible. I know some camp meetings, a lot of camp meetings I've talked to actually just let you people have the same spot as they always had. So if you've got a cabin, you can have that cabin for the next 50 years.
Right.
And we don't do it that way because we want everybody to have a chance to have those nice cabins, dorms, and cottages.
Very good. So that randomly selects the first round, and then let's say you did the cabins and you do the cottages. Tell us a little. So you do the same thing for dorms, and
here's kind of how it works. So I get all the registrations in March, and on March 15th, when you guys are all registered, I start doing random selections because I got to get you all placed before we announce who got into camp meeting. And so we will we'll start with probably the most favorite things like the cabins, cottages, and dorms. And we'll fill those up, and then we'll start filling up the campground. And then once I've gone through everybody's first choices and filled that up, then I'll go to the second choices and see what's left over and fill those up.
Okay, very good. And that's random as well.
That's random as well. So one of the big tips of the day is you need to not choose cabin, cottage, and dorm for your second choice, because when I make that second round of selection, there's no cabins and cottages and dorms left.
Right.
So you automatically won't get into camp meetings. So some people say, I've never gone into camp meeting. I register every year. And when I go back through and look at what they've been doing, they'll have chosen cabin for their first choice and for their second choice. And so they're automatically ruled out in the second choice because the cabins are already full.
Right. And a lot of them do that because they don't have a trailer or whatever. And as we mentioned in another episode, is trailer rental. They come in and set it up for you, and all of that type of thing might be an option as well.
There are some good options for trailer rentals, and if you don't get into camp meeting, don't be despaired. We want you to be at camp meeting, and you can stay off campus. I know that my family is from Ohio, and they're not allowed to come to camp meeting because, or they're not allowed to stay on campus,
right?
Because they are from out of state.
Explain that. So that whole process with the Michigan Conference. Constituents get first choice.
Yes,
correct?
Michigan Conference constituents get first choice when it comes to camp meetings. So you'll be asked the question when you register, are you a Michigan Conference member, and I'll ask what church you're from. If you say no to that, then we will put you on the list for after we place all of our Michigan people.
And there are spots left after.
I can almost guarantee some people who really want to come to camp meeting who are from out of state. So if you're willing to at the last minute say I'll be there.
Yeah, good.
I've called people the week of camp pitch and said, hey, somebody canceled. If you want to drive up from Tennessee, and they've come.
Okay, very good.
And they get in. If you want to stay off campus, where we came from there, my family stays in a hotel.
Yeah, very good.
Because and Maxfield Inn, or it's called the Edmore Inn now.
The Edmore Inn.
It fills up pretty fast. So if you want to do that, you want to go ahead and call them and get a place. But there's also other campgrounds in the area that you can camp and just drive in. Because we want as many people as possible at camp meeting. We just don't have places to put everybody.
Right. And then, Mount Pleasant's only a half-hour drive away, and there's lots of hotels up that way.
Yeah, you don't want to miss camp meeting just because you didn't get in to all the campsites.
So the random selection is is actually a really good thing to have when you get that many people, that many sites, and trying to keep it open for other people to come year after year after year, right?
Right. We want everybody to be there, especially the new people.
Absolutely. So, hey, this is our latest edition for the Michigan Conference Camp Meeting Update, and we'll have another one next week,
That's right.
right? We'll see you then.